Whoever comes to Allah with a good deed, he will be rewarded 10 times its like. Quran 6160. Today we'll explore this verse and its context and discuss how we can apply this message of hope in our lives. Do not grieve, indeed Allah is with us. Quran 9:40. This verse was revealed during the time when the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and his companion Abu Bakr, were in the cave of Thawr, hiding from the Quraysh who sought to harm them. At a moment of danger, when all seemed lost, the Prophet, PBUH, reassured his companion with this comforting reminder. Despite the circumstances, they placed their trust in Allah, and His support was there with them. This verse came at a time when the Prophet, PBUH, and Abu Bakr, IJRA, were being pursued by enemies, and they were in a vulnerable situation, yet Allah's presence and support were enough to provide them with peace. One of the central teachings of Islam is placing complete trust in Allah. When life brings us challenges, we often find ourselves feeling alone or overwhelmed. But as this verse reminds us, when we place our trust in Allah, we are never truly alone. He is always with us, guiding and supporting us, whether we face personal hardships, loss, or uncertainty. This verse teaches us to hold on to our faith and trust that Allah's wisdom is greater than any difficulty we face. His plan for us is always for the best. This verse encourages us not to grieve, but to remain patient, as Allah is with us. Patience in Islam is not just about waiting for things to get better. It's about remaining steadfast in our faith and keeping our trust in Allah's plan. The prophets, AS, faced immense trials, but they never lost faith. Whether it was Prophet Ayyub's, AS, patience in illness, or Prophet Ibrahim's, AS, trust when he was thrown into the fire, their stories teach us that patience brings us closer to Allah and leads to reward in both this world and the hereafter. When we understand that Allah is with us, it brings us peace. The Quran says, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Quran 13:28. This means that when we remember Allah, we find tranquility in our hearts, regardless of what's happening around us. During moments of distress, turning to prayer, making dua, or reflecting on Allah's mercy can ease our hearts. Remembering that Allah is with us helps remove the weight of grief and gives us strength to continue. When we face challenges, how can we remind ourselves that Allah is with us? It's through prayer, through making dua, through reflecting on Allah's promises in the Quran, and by keeping good company. Surrounding ourselves with those who strengthen our faith helps us remember that we are never alone. One way to avoid grief is to practice gratitude. Even in difficult times, recognizing Allah's blessings, no matter how small, helps us. Stay focused on His mercy. Also, trust that Allah's plan is always better than our own, and sometimes His wisdom is revealed after the hardship passes. Allah is not only with us during hardships, but He is also full of mercy. His mercy is vast and encompasses everything. We should always remember that He understands our pain and is there to help us. His mercy is greater than any difficulty we might face. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, said, "When Allah loves a servant, He tests them." This shows us that the tests we go through are a sign of Allah's love and a means for us to grow spiritually. Quran 9:40 reminds us that in times of hardship, we should not grieve because Allah is with us. His presence is a source of strength, peace, and hope. When we trust Him, we are never truly alone. Let's take a moment to reflect on our own lives. In moments of difficulty, how can we remind ourselves of Allah's presence? How can we strengthen our trust in Him? May we all find comfort in the knowledge that no matter what challenges we face, Allah's support is always with us.